sell that roll-up bag, which, you know, your customers are getting a great deal, and then we're going home with some money in our pocket. So you never want to skimp on your party, because even if, you know, you're trying to team build and it's not going as quickly maybe as you want it to, as long as you're selling products, you still have a business. You're still making money. So you want to really concentrate on how you do your skincare class, because like as Cindy mentioned before, that's where you connect with people. So that's where they're either going to become a customer or buy that huge roll-up bag or join your team. So you never want to skimp on your skincare class. It's very, very important.
Another thing we want y'all to do is take notes today. So if y'all have either a notebook or in the back of y'all's like programs, there's a note sheet there. We want y'all to draw like a little T down the sheet. And this is something they had us do down at seminar in our elite leadership meeting that really helped me. So where y'all draw a T, and on one side, make a list of like maybe different things that you had never thought of before, like different things to bring to the skincare classes. We're going to go over all that in a minute. But just maybe different things to pack or different things to do differently. And then another one is different ideas that you want to implement. So one is more like physical things that you need to do differently, like buy clappers, buy tickets and stuff like that. And then the other side is different things, maybe different ideas we give you, different ways to present the products, different ways to book career chats, to book the next party. So that way, y'all don't forget it when you get home, because y'all know we take so many notes. We forget so much stuff. I can't remember it. I can't either. I have to write it down. I have to write everything down. Sticky notes is the way to go. Okay, so you want to kind of just go ahead and yeah, a couple things before we get started. Kim is actually going to start out with our purse game. And a couple things that y'all are going to want to remember for your purse game is to buy clappers and to buy tickets. So I get these little clappers, and they're literally, I think they're so cute. Y'all have some on your table. You can get them from Oriental Trading, which is where Kristen generally gets hers. I get mine in Roanoke at Captain Party. I think I pay $1 for them, but I really only have to like stock up on them once a year, and it'll last me a year before they break or whatever. But something y'all want to take out of that, y'all know we make a 50% profit, and then take 10% of that and just set it aside for business expenses. Clappers go into that category. So it's not something we want you to like buy out of your family budget, but just take a little bit of your Mary Kay money, go ahead and buy you some clappers, buy you some tickets. You can either get them at Walmart, I get these at Captain Party, you can get them online, Amazon, whatever. Okay, so do you want to go ahead and explain the first game and do that part?
I will. And the clappers, you know, when people walk in, the clappers are sitting, you know, where they are to be seated, and they're looking at them like we're all adults here, you know, why is there clappers? But the clappers really do make your party fun, because, you know, people's coming straight from work sometimes, or they may be stressed, or you know, whatever reason. And when we use these clappers, they're fun, so you really can't operate a clapper without smiling or making you feel happy. So I don't care what age you are. So that's why we use the clappers. So it's very important just to spend that little dollar on the clappers. So how we usually start out, you know, is, you know, I thank everybody for coming. You know, of course, if I have a hostess, you know, I dote on her a little bit. But we get everything started by actually just playing what we call the purse game. And so by playing the purse game, you are having fun. You're earning some of these tickets so that we do a drawing at the end for some door prizes. And they're learning some fun facts about Mary Kay. So how the purse game works is we actually call out, how many does the purse games at their parties? Everybody? Pretty much everybody? Okay. So you kind of know how it works. You know, we call out a letter. They dig in their purses for something that begins with that letter. First one we hear actually wins the ticket. So like you call out the letter D, they're going to be searching in the purses for like a ticket or something like that. So that's how we do it. The letters don't really matter. So the letter, whatever letters you want to use, you can personalize that. So if it's something that's, you know, important to you, like taking your kids on vacation to Disney World, let that be one of your letters. So whatever you want to use. But today I'm just going to go through the ones that I mostly use at my skincare classes. So I usually start out, and usually the first one, and you guys can kind of join in. It makes it a little easier because we're doing the mock thing here. So, you know, if I call out a letter, somebody just say something. You know, that just makes it a little easier, and we can clap and pretend like this is a real skincare class. It makes it a little easier on us if y'all want to participate. So, so like the first letter I would call out would be like the letter W.
Wallet. And y'all make sure that you have a clapper too. Don't just sign for them. Y'all make sure you have a clapper too, because they're probably not going to clap theirs unless you're clapping yours. So y'all got to be the first to clap.
Exactly. And then if they're not, if I'm the only one that is clapping, I kind of look funny because I'm the only one doing it. So I actually say something to them. I'll say, okay, ladies, I'm not going to be clapping by myself, so y'all got to help me out. So it really gets them involved, and they really like it. So like the letter W, I would say something like, the W is for watch me. So if it looks like I'm having fun tonight, or Laura and I are having fun while we're making money, then, ask us some questions, because Mary Kay always says when you get like 3 women around a table, one is going to be a beauty consultant. I never thought that one would be me. So you just never know who it's going to speak to. It's going to speak to their heart. So that's why I do the letter W. And then I say, ask me some questions. I would love to tell you some more information. So then I just go to the next letter. When you finish that one, explain it a little bit. So the next one I use is like the letter M. The letter M. So then, that's all fun. Everybody's excited. And then I'll just say, well, actually, the letter M stands for Mary Kay Ash. And I'll say, I actually like, to talk about this one a little bit, because Mary Kay, some people think she was just a brand, and I like to bring that out. So I say, like, Sarah Lee, Betty Crocker. Some of those they're not real people. They're just a picture on a box that makes it look homemade so that you want to buy it. And then, Mary Kay was a real life person. So I tell them that. I let them know that we've been in business for 51 years, that we are a $4 billion debt-free company. I let them know that Mary Kay, she actually worked in direct sales and was very good at it. So good, in fact, that she was put in a training position. I do let them know, if you have the beauty books there, I let them look how pretty she is, and that the Mary Kay stuff really works. I just talk a little bit, about her, and then I like to always implement, because it's very important to me, that her motto is one woman can, and that she ran the business and started the business by putting God first, family second, career third. And that's very important to me. So, I let them know that if I want to work for a company, I want to work for one that has those values. So I really, talk about her a lot, because without her, none of us would be here. So it's very important. Okay, so the next letter is, in my notes. See, Lauren does not use notes. And it's not that we don't know, we just memorize them. But for me, so I don't want you all to feel like, oh my gosh, I can't do a skincare class without notes. That's going to freak me out. So you can keep your notes. What I do is it just keeps me on track, because sometimes I just can get out in left field somewhere, get to talking about something else, kind of lose where I'm at, and I don't want the skincare class to go on forever. So this keeps me on track. So you can use your notes, you want to memorize them so that you're not having to do this or do this. But you can have them in your hand like I am, to kind of glance at them to keep you on track, if that makes you feel better. That's a little crutch.
For me, I don't use notes, because I will sit there and read them. I know if I have it in front of me, I will read it. And I don't want to be that stiff person standing behind the podium reading that skincare class to you, because you're not going to connect with those people. So whatever your personality style is, you will find a way that will work for you. For me, I can't use them. I'll sit there and read them. But for Kim, it helps keep her on track.
So there again, it's your own business. You work it the way that works the best for you, but still staying in the guidelines that the way Mary Kay intended for us to do. So the next one I do is the letter C. This is a good one, letter C. Woo!
Okay, y'all, wear your glasses.
Okay, and then the letter C, of course, stands for our career card. Yay! So I bring out the flyer, if you want to show the flyer there. I bring out the flyer and show them that we do have real cars in Mary Kay. I let them know that we have the largest fleet of cars outside of the federal government, and that before Mary Kay, I didn't know anything about it. And my perception was, I had seen the pink Cadillac, go down the road. But my perception was you probably had to start really early in life, and it probably took years and years before you actually earned a pink Cadillac. And so I like to say I didn't realize that you could earn a car in as little as 1 to 4 months. And you can see people's reaction, my reaction, when I found out. I was like, really? And then I tell them apart, that not just that we just drive for free, but 85% of our insurance is paid, our tax and title fees are paid, that anybody can go on our insurance, even teenagers, for like $30 a month. I let them know that, our car payment, our mortgage, and our insurance is some of our biggest monthly bills, and if we can wipe out 2 of them, then that's a biggie. So that's kind of what I say about the career car. And then I explained there how they do not have to be in leadership whatsoever, that they can drive a free car by just being a consultant. So, and you guys have this, so you may have not had it before, but you have it today because it's in here. This is just a way where you're trying to earn a car, and I did this. I didn't actually have this sheet when I started, but Kristen had always told me at my parties to make sure that I mentioned I was trying to earn this car, and that they could just rather eat dirt and dies to do what I do, but that I got credit for them listening. So I would bring that out and let them know just by meeting with my director for coffee for about 30 minutes, and it was completely painless. That it would help me to earn my car, and then I needed 56 people to do that. Now, I always wait till like later to actually book them, but if you see that you're losing your party, if you see that you're not going to be able to do all this at the end, then you can do it right here, right? I mean, you can do it right then. How many of you would want to put your name on this paper for me? So you can do it right then. So it's just whatever works better for you. You just, you don't want the party to last too long, and if you think you're losing it, then go ahead and do it. But I normally do it at the end. But always bring that out. Because Kristen always told me at the very beginning that there was 3 goals to every skincare class that I needed to accomplish. 3 goals. And I wrote this down in my date book. And one was you need to book a party from a party. You need to sell a roll-up bag. And you need to book a career chat, or more than one. So when I went to a party, I knew that those 3 goals, I had to accomplish those 3 things. And so if I walked out of a party and I had only accomplished one, then I could still go home and say I had a good party. So then you're not just dwelling on one thing, because the skincare class is everything. It keeps you want to book more parties so that your date book stays full. You want to sell the product there so you have money in your pocket. And then you also want to have the career chat so that you can build your team. So you're doing everything at this skincare class, okay? Okay, then the next one I do the letter B. Letter B. Bubblegum. Bubblegum! So, and the B stands for be your own boss. So I let them know how awesome it is to actually be your own boss, to have the flexible hours, to not have to ask off, to not have to miss any family events. And that means a lot to people, even moms who are stay-at-home moms, because they're a stay-at-home mom for a reason, because they don't want to miss those mom moments. So, you let them know that they don't have to. We can just schedule our parties around our life, So I love that. I let them know that there's no glass ceilings with Mary Kay, that we can make any amount of income that we want, an executive amount if we so choose. That the harder we work, we just basically are advancing ourselves, so it's really up to us, whatever it is we want to do. And this is also a place where I tell a little bit of Kristen's I story, because her story was kind of one of the things, the reason that made me want to do Mary Kay, of course. So I tell a little bit about her I story, about how she started when she was 20 just to make like $500 extra for her kids for Christmas. I tell about how her husband has been a stay-at-home dad she's been Mary Kay for like 13 years now, and how he's for 12. So she was a Mary Kay consultant for a year, and then he didn't go back to work, and now he's her business partner as well. So I tell her that. I tell how she actually just did her parties on Saturdays, starting out, and paid all of her bills. Because her week was full because she homeschooled her children. So she really only had Saturdays to work her business, but that was okay. That was actually all she needed. And then I tell what she makes. I tell what an awesome check it was, because my eyes about popped out when I saw it. So I tell, that her highest check so far is like $38,000, and she makes that per month. So, people really don't understand that, Mary Kay, people think we sell lipstick. They think that's just what it is, and how can you make that much money selling lipstick? So when you have the proof there to show them and to tell them, then it's like, wow, maybe I could make, a little bit of that. So that's why I tell our story.
And y'all can actually get printouts of your director's highest check and of Kristen's highest check. Just ask your director for that. We actually can get copies. It doesn't have their bank information on it, so don't worry about that part. But we can get copies so that it's not just a made-up number out of your head, and that they can see on paper that this is real.
Yeah, exactly. And then the next letter I do is the letter R. Letter R. That's a hard one. That's always the receipt. Receipt! They all have them in their purses, they just can't find them, right? So the R, I said, stands for recognition and retirement. And then I tell how Mary Kay pampers us and how that once we get into the company, they don't want us to leave. And remember that this awesome company was founded by a woman, so she knows what we will work for. She knows what motivates us. And so I let them know about all the prizes, how we can earn prizes, how we're recognized, and how we get that pat on the back for even the smallest accomplishments. So I let them know all that. I also let them know about the retirement plan, which I think honestly is the best one I have ever heard of. So, I tell them, that as a national sales director, that when they retire, they make 65% of their paycheck for the next 15 years. And if they should happen to pass away, then that is passed on to their families. I let them know that most national sales directors, when they retire with about $8 to $9 million, having never put anything in. So anybody that is really family oriented, that really speaks to their heart, because that is such security for their family. So, bring that in as well. The next one I do is for letter P. Letter P.
First.
For our product. So you do want to mention the product and how great it is. We all know it's great. They don't know it yet. So talk about the product. I let them know that it's 100% satisfaction guarantee for whatever reason, that I'll give them their money back or swap it out for another product, that I want them to be completely satisfied. I do let them know that Mary Kay eats that cost, not me, because some people don't want to return something because they don't want to hurt your feelings. So they'll just keep it and maybe go somewhere else and buy a different product, So let them know that we don't have to eat that cost, so that they don't care to return to us. And that there again, you're kind of building a relationship. So I let them know that. I let them know that our products are FDA approved, and that some of the other higher end brands, some of theirs are, not all of them, because it's very difficult, to meet the standards in every single product. So that is an amazing thing, that they don't have to worry about what they're putting on their skin. Our skin is one of the biggest organs. It absorbs everything. So it makes women feel really good that they are getting to use an FDA approved product. So I always bring that in as well.
And it's all made in America.
All made in America.
That's a huge selling
Not
point.
animal, not tested on animals, hyperallergenic. It's just a good product, and so you want to let them know how good that really is. And then the next one I do is like the letter S, and this is one is like staying true to yourself. Anybody got a letter S?
Shakespeare bag.
So this is kind of where you tell your I story. And as you heard that Cindy mentioned before, how important your I story is. And this is where you really are connecting with that person. You're telling them why you are doing what you're doing. I mentioned that I've been married, the same old boy for 30 years. I mentioned my children, that I have twin sons who are 28, that my husband and I adopted a daughter, and that my whole life has changed because of this little girl in my house. So I let them know that Mary Kay is just, I never saw myself doing Mary Kay, but it has been just the most wonderful experience, the best job I have ever had. I let them know that I just went to a little skincare class. My niece, actually Kristen, found my niece on a ladder in Cato's, like 2 hours from where she lived. So that's how I ended up meeting Kristen. So of course she did this, the perfect skincare class, and my skin was horrible. I was getting ready to go to a dermatologist. I had tried so many different products, high-end brands, cheap brands, the natural way, like lemon juice and sugar on my face, and of course none of that was working. And so when I tried the products that night, I couldn't believe how my face felt. And I remember, Kristen saying if I didn't like anything, I could send it back. So I was like, gosh, it feels so good one time. I'm going to give this stuff a try. So initially, that's what happened to me first, was just actually falling in love, with the products. And then, having Kristen did the career chat with me and shared the marketing plan with me, showed me her check. So I was like, oh my gosh, I think at the time it was like $22,000 or something. So I thought, if she can make $22,000, I could at least make $2,000. So, I wasn't even thinking really big. I was just thinking, I could make a little bit with that. So You know, I let them know that. I let them know I'm from a small town, very shy, don't even have a stoplight in my hometown. We do have a dollar store now, yay. So we can add that to it. Well, we have a post office and a bank, so there we go. So I honestly did not think that I could do well with Mary Kay. I really did not. And really, I just trusted Kristen because of how she connected with me, of how she made me feel that I trusted her. And so that's why I started. That's when I started, not thinking I could, you know, not thinking I could do anything with it. I was just thinking I could sell maybe a little bit of the products to make maybe the $2,000. So that, you know, that was my thought process. And not in a million years did I think I'd be a director and, you know, driving 2 free cars and working on my 3rd one. So, you know, you just never know, you know, when you speak to somebody and you tell their eye story, what their experience is going to be. They could be really shy, or a small town where they know nobody, you know. And so when you tell your eye story, it is going to connect with somebody. And then the last one that I do is the letter I. Letter I. iPhone! We all got it! And that's the individual consultation. And that's where you want to let each one of your people that's gathered there at that party, to let them know that they are important. And I let them know that I will meet with them at the end of the facial to talk to them about their concerns or answer any questions for them. Now, ideally, you need to set up somewhere else, right?
In a different room.
Yes,
Yeah.
a different room. And
If at all possible. I mean, I've heard stories, girls go into somebody's bedroom because it's just a small studio apartment or something.
right,
But you want to pull them away from that group.
you do.
There's a lot of different reasons why. For that specific one where she ended up going into the bedroom, that lady that she took in there, one of the guests, wanted to buy a roll-up bag for one of the other guests as a birthday present. You can't do that when you're sitting at a table right next to somebody. And so many people are so guarded about their
Finances.
situation. So they aren't going to say, oh, I want to do the payments, because what are their friends going to think of them? But if you pull them aside, they don't mind telling you that, and you'll sell a lot more, and a lot more of those roll-up bags and those payment plans, which we'll talk about in a minute if y'all aren't familiar with the roll-up bag and payment plan. But where y'all can just separate them, your sales are gonna be a lot higher than just sitting at the table. Okay, what do you want to take home?
Yeah, because people are kind of intimidated. It just really intimidates them. And if you don't have the space to do that, and I know sometimes some places you go, you don't, but you still need to talk to each person individually. So you still need to pull your chair up to theirs, you know, and still talk to them individually. So you still want to give them that one-on-one time, even if you can't take them into, you know, ideally a separate room. So that's kind of the first game. So like I said, you know, change it up. We will email you everything. So if you like this outline of what we're using, you know, we'll email everything to you. Just let us know. And but just take it and make it your own. Just take it and make it your own. So now Miss Lauren is going to teach you how to do a skincare class. And look at how awesome this table looks, right?
Okay, so before we get started in the actual skincare class, I want to tell you all a little bit about what I have on the table. So this was, these roll-up bags, y'all know our roll-up bags. They're actually stuffed with about $500 worth of products each. Do y'all have inventory? Like, that is a key part of your skincare class. I've got 6 roll-up bags up here with $500 a piece. That's $3,000. This ain't a quarter of what I got at my house. So y'all gotta have inventory. Especially starting out, you might not need that much, but for the amount of work that I do and the amount of parties I do, I need this much. So all of these roll-up bags, well, I'll tell you what's in them later, but I pre-pack them. They've got little stickers on them with each girl's name on it. So y'all want to make sure that y'all are pre-profiling all your guests. If you don't know how to do that, ask your director. But I get these little stickers from the dollar store. I throw them on the floor.
Before she puts them on the bag.
If y'all don't know me, I'm clumsy. That's terrible. So just get these little stickers from the dollar store, just put them on, and they're removable, so it's not like if, you know, 6 people are not generally all going to buy the roll-up bag. You just pull it off, put it back on the sheet, reuse it again next time. Just put another name on it. We've got our mirrors, we've got our trays, we've got cloths, we've got cotton balls. I actually put the beauty book underneath the profile so they do not see it when they first walk in. They're busy filling out that profile. They normally don't see the beauty book. I like it that way personally. I don't know if y'all do this. Do y'all know the last page has prices on it? I wish that were not in there. I hate that thing. So I try and hide that. And if you let this sit out, they're going to flip through that book. They're going to see that price sheet. They're going to mark down what they want as they go. You're not going to sell as much. So I try and hide this and just try and keep them on the pages that I am on. So I try and hide that like down there. I also have placemats, which y'all can see if y'all want to come up during lunch and look at this. I've got placemats down. You can go and get them laminated, or you can just get page protectors, sheet protectors, and I keep a binder in my starter kit that's got all the different things I need in it. So it's got just those little things just right in there. I just pop it out of my binder, set it down. That way, if you're at a really nice house and their kitchen table is not childproof, not waterproof, you've got these cloths, and you don't want them to have to put it down on their table and get their table messed up. You do not want to mess up somebody's table. So I just put those down there. Everyone has a clapper, a cup for water, and a roll-up bag. I think that's, oh, okay. So one other thing we want to mention is these little, I don't even know what they're called, samples for the color. The company is starting to redo some of the color line. And so have y'all noticed that the color cards are only made in one color right now? You can only get them in the berries, which purple on my blue eyes does not go so hot. So you're going to need to come up with something just in the meantime until they do bring out the new color cards that your customers can use. So this has just got 3 eyeshadow samples in it. Y'all can either pick ones that look good together if you're really comfortable with color. If you're not, like me, go to InTouch, go to Product Central, and you can actually go to the customized color look. It'll show you what colors go good together. So I've got 3 eyeshadows, a lip gloss, mascara wand, eye applicator, and this is a little application tips sheet. I can get 4 on a piece of paper, so it's only 1/4 of a page. Fold it in half, fits right in these bags. These are cello bags. Get them from mygirlfriendshouse.com. They're super cheap. Or if you go to career conference, leadership, y'all can get these there. I think it's like $5 or $6 for 100 is really cheap. I'm sure you can find them at a dollar store or Walmart somewhere too. But I just put these little color application techniques in it because a lot of your girls don't know how to do color. And we do just focus on the basics of color. We don't go into in-depth glamour looks at the skincare class. But this is going to give them a little bit of a guide to help put it on. And so, like Kim said, we're actually going to be emailing all of our files to Kristen. Kristen's going to email it to the directors. Directors will be able to email it to you within a week, I would say. So that's just everything I have on the table. I've got some other products here. Now this table is actually a little bit smaller than most dining room tables, so it may look a little bit crammed, but I promise once you get to like a full-size dining room table, it'll all fit out. And I usually display my products too. We didn't actually have room up here to do that, but just display your products. So, did I miss anything on that? Nope. Okay, so we're gonna get started with our skincare class now. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take off our eye makeup first. So you just go ahead and tell everyone to take a cotton ball and get your eye makeup remover and put it on the cotton ball. You can pass them around. I usually tell them it takes me 2 or 3 cotton balls to get all my eye makeup off. So for your mascara girls, they're not going to feel bad. You want to make sure they do get it all off. And you want to tell them that our eye makeup remover is for waterproof and non-waterproof makeup, so it is going to get off even the toughest of the stuff. I wear waterproof mascara every day, and it gets it off no problem. But that it's really good and that you really do want to be washing your face twice a day. And so I actually go around and I'll ask, not individually, but just as a group, how many times a day do y'all wash your face? A lot of them, like I'd say about half of them say once a day and half of them say twice a day. And then you got your occasional one who never washes her face. So I just want to really stress the importance of why you do want to wash your face and take care of your skin. And so I'll just talk about, for every night that you do not take your makeup off, you actually age 2 nights. Does that make sense?
I think it's 7.
Oh, I was always told 2. 7's even worse. So it's really bad. But there's
told it was 13.
Yeah. Okay, well, maybe it's 13. I don't know. I was always told 2. But it's a lot of nights. So we really do want to take off your makeup to make sure that you're not getting that extra wrinkles. But then, eyelash creatures. Thanks. That's where I was going. Okay, so I'll ask everybody if they have ever heard of these little things called eyelash creatures. And it's maybe about 25%, I'd say, that have heard of it. And I'll tell them it's these little bugs that love dirt, oil, and mascara. It doesn't mean your house is dirty. Pretty much everybody has them, and they're little microscopic, so you can't even see them. But they live on your sheets and pillowcases, and they're kind of gross. But they love the dirt, the oil, and mascara. So if y'all aren't washing your face at night, taking off your makeup, y'all can get these little critters. And what they do is they burrow down in an eyelash follicle where an eyelash fell out, and they can lay babies. And then it's really hard to grow that eyelash back. And it takes, it takes a full year. Yes, you got the sheet. So this is a sheet we pass around.
Oh, very good.
So this is the sheet we pass around. And y'all can either get this off of Kristen's UnitNet site, or we will also email this out with all the rest of the files. And so I'll pass that around. People really get grossed out. This is the reason I now wash my face twice a day.
Exactly.
I was one of those girls who would just wash it so that I could take off my makeup to put more makeup on, because I didn't know. I didn't really know. No, I'm serious.
When we know better, we do better,
Yes,
right?
exactly. And I do wash it twice a day, every day. But, I'll just tell them about these little eyelash creatures, and I'll also say that they do make up 50% of blackheads on your face. And so we really want to make sure we're taking care of our skin. And then I go ahead and have everybody take their white cloth, dunk it in their little water cup, go ahead and get your face all super nice and wet. I'll tell them this isn't anything fancy, it's just water on a cloth. But just get your face nice and wet, and we're going to start with our 3-in-1 cleanser, which is in the top left of your tray. I actually have, I don't know if y'all can see this, little tray inserts. It's a little piece of cardstock or a little piece of paper. You can print these off at InTouch, and it's just got everything labeled out. Those little numbers are kind of hard to see for a lot of people, and a lot of people don't know exactly what they're doing, because if it gets a little chaotic, it's so much easier for you to say it's a cleanser, and then they can pull it off there. So I'll go ahead and say we'll start with our 3-in-1 cleanser, which is your cleanser, your toner, and your mask all in one. And you want to make sure that you're rubbing in an upward and inward motion. Our wrinkles go down and out, so we do not want to pull and tug at those wrinkles. We want to push them back into place. So up and in. And so our toner does help to make our pores a little bit smaller, helps to even out our skin tone a little bit. And then the mask. We love the idea of a mask, right? But how often do y'all actually do one? Not every day. So this is like a little touch-up mask that you're going to get twice a day, in the morning and the evening when you wash your faces. But y'all still do need a mask once a week for that good deep clean, but this is going to be your touch-up throughout the week. Back in the day, Mary Kay used to have 3 products. She had a cleanser, a toner, and a mask that you had to use every day. And so she just found out that women were not doing it. We were busy. We do not have the time. So she loves us enough to put it all in one bottle and really to streamline it for us. And then, so we'll go ahead and take that back off, take our day and our night solution. And I'll say, normally we use our day solution all over our face in the morning, our night solution all over our face at night. But since we want to try both, you'll draw like an invisible line down your face. For the day solution on one side, night solution on the other. And then I'll say the day solution is an SPF 35. It's also a skin brightener. It is fantastic for not letting your skin look as dull throughout the day. So do y'all feel like the longer the day goes on, the more dull your skin looks? Yeah, so this is going to help make it look nice and peppy. It's actually got peptide crystals in it, so it's fantastic. And then your night solution, the little beads in there, are the vitamins A, C, and E. I remember that because it says ACE.
Whoa. One of your
Oh,
works, right?
genius, right? Yes, because I can never remember the right letters. So ACE, A, C, and E. And it's fantastic at helping to repair and restore your skin from any damage done throughout the day. It's kind of like Neosporin. You can use it on cuts. You can use it on like your cuticles. It's really good stuff. And then make sure to let them know that you want to leave that on. And then go ahead and take your moisturizer next. Your moisturizer is an age-fighting moisturizer. So it has 8 different amino acids in it, including retinol A, which is fantastic for fighting wrinkles. So amino acid is just a big fancy word for wrinkle cream. And so it's great because in that one little tube, in that one little squirt, you already have the 8 different wrinkle creams in it. And then we go ahead and just leave that on, and I'll go ahead and ask them, how does your face feel? I'll tell a difference in your skin when y'all ask them that touch your face. Then they'll touch their faces.
They will.
They will. It's
Every
funny.
time.
Like monkey see, monkey do. You just touch your face, and they'll start touching their face and feel it. And they'll be, oh, it's so soft. Okay, so then we'll let our face sit for a little while, and we'll go on to microderm step 1 and 2. So have them get their cloth back out, get their hand wet. I know y'all probably know most of this, but I'm just recapping it for those of y'all who are like super new and haven't done a skincare class yet. So sorry if I'm getting repetitive with what y'all already know. But go ahead and take your cloth, get the back of your hand wet. The reason we want to do it on our hand, even though it's made for our face, is it's one of our harshest products. So we want to make sure to try it on your hand first before we try it on your face. To get all the hand wet, all the knuckles, fingers, all over the place, take your microderm step 1, which is the refine. Go ahead and put it all over your hand, and we're going to scrub. And I usually have them do it for about 30 seconds. That way, if they do have sensitive skin, it's not going to be too much for them. But you're really going to see a difference in those 30 seconds. So go ahead and just scrub all over, scrub your knuckles. We got extra skin and wrinkles there, so just scrub all over. And I'll have them take their cloth, wipe it back off. And then take the microderm step 2, the replenish. Put it on and make sure it dries, and I'll have them feel the difference between their 2 hands. And compare it.
There's actually a visible difference.
You can usually see, even across the table, the difference between the hands.
Yeah, absolutely.
You'll know which one. A lot of times they'll say it does look lighter, And it's because it's that new baby skin coming out. So your microderm takes off 3 layers of dead skin. It gets rid of fine lines, wrinkles, crow's feet, expression lines, blackheads, whiteheads. It's great for fighting, preventing acne. This is kind of like your all-over awesome supplement. If you don't want it on your face, it's going to help get rid of it. But I will stress, it's not the same if you do it by itself. You can't use this morning and night. You can't just get the microderm. It is definitely a supplement to our Miracle Set, our cleanser, day, night, and moisturizer. And a lot of times I actually relate it to sprinkles. So the Miracle Set is kind of like our ice cream. We love ice cream. And then the microderm is like our sprinkles. So sprinkles are really good on ice cream, but if you use them by itself, like if you use the microderm by itself, it's not going to be as effective. Like you don't just sit there and eat a spoonful of sprinkles. So it's definitely made to go with the ice cream. They usually get a kick out of that. And so I'll actually tell them there is a dermatologist in Charlotte that uses the microderm as their professional microderm in their office. And I'll have them guess how much they think it costs. So how much do y'all think it would cost for one application of microderm? $150 for one application. And they make you sign an agreement for 10 applications. That's $1,500. For me, I just don't see the need in spending that kind of money when our bottles are $50 for the pair. And you get about 33 applications out of it. So I did the math, and I think it's like, if you use it twice a week, it'll be about 6 months for $50. And they're usually like jaw-dropping, oh my gosh, I can't believe that. But it's the exact same product. They use Mary Kay in their office. So it's fantastic. So yeah, just make sure they compare their hands, feel the difference. And then we go on to our firming eye cream. I love this stuff. So what you'll want to do is have them take it with their ring fingers. And I know this sounds elementary, but a lot of people don't know what the ring finger is.
They don't, it's true.
So I'll make sure, okay, hold up your ring finger, this one right here. And it is actually our most, like our weakest finger. So we want to use it because our eye area is our most delicate skin. So you take, and actually, if you'll have glasses, I actually take it off. I say, okay, take y'all's ring fingers and go ahead and pat. And you start at the temple. I can't do this two-handed. Start at the temple, go down underneath your eye. Y'all make sure to pat and not rub because, again, you're tugging at that skin. And if you have extra, do it on your eyelids, but make sure to avoid the inner corner of the eye. Y'all probably know that burns a lot. Done that one too many times.
It makes your eyes water.
It does make water. So y'all just avoid the inner corner, but you can use it temple, down, and on your eyelids too. If you have dry eyes, Kristen actually has really dry eyes. She has very bad allergies. And so she actually keeps a bottle or two of this in her purse. You can put it on over top of your makeup, especially if you have dry eyes. You can go ahead and just pat it on over your makeup throughout the day. It's not going to smudge it, not going to wear it off, and it's fantastic for fighting those wrinkles. So the whole Miracle Set will actually either stunt you from aging for 10 years. So if you're 18, you really don't want to turn 8 again. So it'll like stunt you for 10 years or to take 10 years off of your skin. So it's really good at fighting those wrinkles. And I'll even tell them that in the beauty book, we've got different skincare lines for all different, whatever you want to change about your skin. So I actually do this under my pee. Unless I forget, then I do it right now. Yeah. So I'll say, we do have our Miracle Set, which is for ladies. I usually start 16, 18. They can start with that. And we have our botanicals for sensitive skin, our people allergic to everything. And then our acne prone. And then I will say, if y'all want to take more than 10 years off your face, y'all, this time Watch Repair stuff is amazing. Amazing. And so I will say that's our premier line.
Botox in a box.
It is Botox. I love that. I love that. Okay, so firm and eye cream, then we go on to foundation primer. So I go ahead and tell them to take the foundation primer out of the tray, and we're going to focus this in our T-zone, so our forehead, straight down the middle of your face, and then blend it out towards your cheeks. And you want to do it really light, almost feather-like. If you rub too hard, you're going to rub it back off. So just do it light, feather-like. And I go ahead and I actually wrap everything down underneath my chin to make sure we don't have that mask. And you want to let your foundation primer sit for like 2 minutes and let it dry completely. And I'll tell them, y'all don't have to take 2 hours in the morning to your face. My cleansers, my day, night, moisturizer, I kind of just lather them one on top of the other. You don't have to wait for those to dry. Primers and makeup, you always have to let that dry. So I do make sure to stress that. So we let our foundation primer dry. While we're doing that, we want to treat our lips to some satin lips. So y'all go ahead and lick your lips or get some water out of your cup if it's not too dirty by this point. Just lick your lips, and we're going to take the mask, which is in the top right on the left-hand side. It's the white one, and it's going to be a little bit gritty like that microderm. So y'all just take that lip mask, go ahead and rub it all over your lips. You don't have to rub it in, because a lot of times they'll just sit there and scrub. You don't want them to necessarily scrub their lips. Just kind of put it on and cake it up. I tell them they want to look like they just ate a powdered donut. And it's really funny to get selfies at this point. So if you've got like a younger group or a really fun group, they go ahead and take selfies with the lip mask on. But then we want to let that sit again for about 3 or 4 minutes. Let that mask dry. It's just like a mask for your face. It's going to help get rid of that dead skin. So we want to sit there and let that dry completely. And then we're going to buy another game so y'all can get more tickets.
So this is where you want to actually do the referral game. And ladies, it's very important. I know it's an easy step that you could skip, but it is extremely important because this is where you're going to get leads. And you know that's when we're out of leads, we're out of parties, and we're out of parties, we're out of business. So, you know, it's very important that you do not leave without playing the referral game or the cell phone game, whichever one you want to, you know, to call it. So I know on the back of your profile cards, and I've done that before as well, there's like a section that they can list names and numbers, and there's only like a place for like 7. And so the only down thing about using your profile card is sometimes that's all they'll do. They'll just stop at 7 because there's only 7 lines there. So these are actually something Lauren had printed out, and I have used different things.
My mama, she made them first.
Okay, we'll give Mama the credit. But I have tried different things. But if you do have something where there's like several lines, then it's like they're not going to write down so many and then stop. So you're going to ask them while they're letting their lips set. So you have to, you know, go through this pretty quick. So you just let them know, show them this little sheet of paper, and just let them know that you need for them to write down as many women 18 or older. Put that in there. Women 18 or older
That do not have a consultant.
that do not have a consultant already, because that is, I don't always mention that each time, but you really need to. Sometimes I just forget to do it. So if you make yourself a note not to do that, you know, make sure that you mention it. And as many as they can write down, and tell them all you need is their first names and their cell phone numbers, that you're not going to call and hassle their friends, that you're only going to send them a text. And let them know that, you know, they can enjoy this emotional vacation just like they're enjoying now. Everything's complimentary, no obligation to purchase products, and then it's going to be a gift from them. And then I let them know, because some people think, oh my gosh, I can't, you know, put down somebody's number, they're going to get mad at me. So, you know, I kind of mentioned, I say, you know, I would have loved for somebody to have put my name down when I was 20. You know, I would love to have had the opportunity to join this business. I've been in Mary Kay for like 3 years, and so I would have loved to have started this in my 20s, and I know there's, you know, perfect timing for everything, but let them know, you know, that it is a gift, and that we, you know, we're not going to hassle them, we're just going to send them a text, and if they don't respond, then it's perfectly fine. Also at the bottom of this sheet, I like this, I usually give them like a ticket for each name. So they love the tickets because they know the door prizes are coming. So they love the tickets. So I give them like a ticket per name that they write down for me. And then I do like a winner, like the winner of the most. So I'll either give, you know, more tickets to that person, or you can like just let them win a prize because they
That'd be
got
awesome. Like an eyeshadow cost you like
Yes.
$3.
Yes, and you
Y'all,
know, just
you will have
anything.
people write down. I've had people write down 30 names on these sheets.
Right.
Can you imagine 30 referrals from one person? It's awesome.
It is.
For a $3 eyeshadow.
Exactly. And
We actually have taken it one step further and done the texting, the scheduling, and then the following up. So it's
Oh, that's
all
awesome.
very good. So just find something that really works for you, you know, just something that you can really hone in on, you know, to get the best bang for your buck, so to speak. But at the bottom of this one, it says, check this box at any point during this game to receive an additional 5 tickets. They can check it. Lauren says she don't normally read this off to them. She'll just say, you know, there's a little box at the bottom of the page.
If y'all want
you can
5
check.
tickets, check that box at the
Right.
bottom.
So, you know, it keeps you from going into details, and it's not like a big thing, you know. So, you know, she says you get how much percentage from that normally?
This is just something, it's actually Terry McMahon, one of our directors out in California. She added it to our unit boxer group, or our director boxer group, and it was just like a week ago, so I've only done it for maybe like 10 people, but I've already had 3 people check it, and I'm going to go ahead and read them what it says on the bottom, since I don't have one in front of them. It says, yes, feel free to send this to my Facebook friends as well. So y'all get Facebook referrals. That is awesome. Ask your director for a Facebook script. You're going to want something a bit different than a texting script. And I don't know if you do this, Kim, I actually at the party will tell them exactly what I will text out as that script. So I think it's less intimidating for them.
It is,
when they
because
know
they're
what
afraid
you're
to
gonna
share
say.
that information with you, yes.
So y'all probably have a script similar to this, but I'll say something like, hey Kim, it's Lauren Rothe, I know you don't know me, but we have a mutual friend, Kristen Myers, and when I asked her who she wanted to bless with a complimentary facial and free gift, she immediately thought of you. Wasn't that sweet? And I said,
That's the one I sent.
y'all send a selfie with it. Take a picture. I've got this little photo grid app. Take a picture of yourself. And then you can add like your name, your number, and your website, or your name, your website, your email, whatever you want, and send it with that. It really does help because there's seeing a face. It's not just some spam number.
Right.
You can see your face and see that you're a real person. Go to your website, check you out. I think that helps too.
And I send a picture of myself, like when we're doing the pre-profiling of the guests that your hostess is bringing. You know, I send them a script and let them know, you know, thank you for coming. I'm the consultant, I'm the director of, you know, whoever the hostess is, that I'm excited to meet them. I ask them about their skin type so that I have that information. Then I send a picture of myself. There's something about sending the picture that makes it personal.
It's because you're looking them in the eye,
even though you're connecting. There it is. It's all about connecting again. So once you have this sheet and once you have it filled, then, you know, you let them take their mask.
Yeah, okay, so y'all take your cloth, take your mask back off, and then go ahead and take that lip balm, go ahead and put it over top of your lips, and then I ask them to raise your hand. How many chapstick addicts do I have here? And usually about 50% will go ahead and raise their hand. And so I just tell them, you know, a lot of different brands do actually put alcohol, and y'all don't ever want to say brands. I say chapstick is a generic term. Y'all don't ever want to trash talk other companies or anything like that. But I'll just say, you know, because everybody knows what chapstick is. So I don't say it as a brand, I say it as a generic thing, and I say, you know, a lot of different brands do actually put alcohol in their products. And what does alcohol do? Dries it out, y'all know. And so when you're using it, the more you use it, the more you have to use it. And I think a lot of times it's a sales thing. And they want you to buy more of their product. Well, ours doesn't have alcohol in it and actually moisturizes for 6 to 8 hours. You know, and I'll tell them, I don't use this all day long. I like lip gloss, I like lipstick, but I use it in the morning when I get up and at night before I go to bed. And it really does help keep your lips in really good shape. And so, okay, so let's start on our foundation and our glamour.
Do you want to do
And,
the
oh, yes.
next, or you want to do that?
It doesn't matter. You can go ahead.
Okay. Well, it's kind of just
Sorry.
finishes the referral game. It kind of just finishes that up. So this is when you can ask them to star the 2 people on their list. So just the 2 of their favorite people, 2 people they admire the most, just have them put a star beside it on that referral list. Okay, and then you're going to make your parties fun. I know we're trying to, explain everything here, so we're taking the fun factor kind of out. But have fun during your parties, when you're doing the clappers, get into that. Make it fun, And so then, once they have those 2 people starred, then you say, okay, who in the room loves coupons? Who loves coupons? And they're like, woo!
Y'all raise your hands.
Yeah,
raise your
it's going up, and, we're giving it this. So we really get into our parties. You can ask some ladies in here. Oh my goodness, but we get into it maybe a little too much sometimes. But anyway, who likes coupons? And you're going to see, the hands go up around the room. And that's when I say, well, oh my gosh, Mary Kay has coupons. We have Mary Kay coupons. And so how that works is those 2 people that you put a star beside of, if you would like to bring those 2 people back wherever you are, say like in a week or next week, with you to enjoy just what you've enjoyed here, complimentary, no obligation to buy products. And I always say that at the beginning of my classes, because I think people come in, they're a little uptight sometimes. They may not, they've made up their mind they're not going to buy anything. So if you kind of let them know at the beginning that they don't have to buy anything, it just takes the pressure away. So they actually enjoy the facial without having that on them that, oh my gosh, I'm
And then they usually end up
something.
buying stuff.
They do, and I had this one, actually, it was at Beth's, one of my consultants in Knoxville. It was at her party, and so I had mentioned, that at the beginning, and this one, the lady, she said, oh my gosh, I've only come here to buy a moisturizer, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's such a good choice. We have an awesome moisturizer, so, I told her, how great it was and everything, but I told her, there's no obligation to purchase anything, but it's great you want that moisturizer. By the end of the party, she bought a roll-up bag. So, and I know I just contributed to, taking the pressure off of her, so where she didn't feel like she had to. So then I say to them, after they raise their hand, whatever, and then I say, that's so great, but we're not finished yet. So how many people in here loves upgrades? How many loves upgrades? You get the kind of party going. And I'll say, if you're in coach and somebody says you can move to first class, who's going to do it? So then I say, I will give you guys $100 in Mary Kay products for only $35. Did I say the $75 first? I think I messed that up. Okay, with the 2, It's $75 for 35, okay? $75 in products for 35. And we do have to give a little bit in Mary Kay to get back, so you just have to get used to that. And then the next one, if they want to bring up to 5 people.
It's like half price, so y'all
Yes, it is.
you're basically just passing on your discount for that hostess.
You are.
But you're gonna get to see a lot of her friends, you're gonna get extra referrals, you're gonna get extra bookings, so it's just another way to build your business.
It absolutely is. And see where Lauren has already pre-packed these roll-up bags. I'll be honest, I'll do it every time. Sometimes you don't have time, so, but
Especially if you book like the party the night before, sometimes
Yes.
you have those last minute people, you don't always
you
have
don't.
time.
But if you
But
have
when
time.
possible, it is fantastic.
Yes, because she's assuming the sale. She's assuming they're going to take that roll-up bag home. And sometimes when they can hold it in their hand, they don't want to let go of that roll-up bag. It's got their name on it and everything.
I had an
They don't want to let go. They're
$800
going to take it home.
I had an $800 double facial because I brought them bags.
Yeah.
And they both told me at the end, they're like, I was not, like, I came in here the entire time, I was like, I'm not gonna buy anything, I'm not gonna buy anything, I'm not gonna
And
buy
they
anything.
come in with
And
the
that's okay,
mindset.
that's okay. But she said, when you had a bag with my name on it, at the end, I just couldn't not take it home.
It's so pretty. We're women. We want that.
Okay, so did the coupon, and then we're gonna go on to our glamour. So, I'm gonna do this really quick, y'all know how to do makeup. Y'all are okay. So I'll just go ahead and as they're coming in, like as y'all's guests are coming in at the very beginning of the party, match their foundation then. That way you don't have to take out time now and spend 15 minutes trying to match foundation. It's gonna be chaos. So at the very beginning when they come in, match their foundation then. And this tell them, this may not be our perfect color, but it's close. And if y'all want to, when we get our faces nice and cleaned up and get the foundation on, and I just have them tested on a small bit of their cheek or jawline. If you want to go lighter or darker, not gonna hurt my feelings. But that way y'all have a baseline to go. And y'all make sure, I don't know if y'all know this is here, right here, it says foundation type and shade. Y'all write that down. You're not gonna remember in an hour what color you put on them in the beginning. It's gonna save y'all headaches from trying to rematch people later on.
Or you could just say like Cindy, put whatever color you want
Oh,
on.
that's true.
Save yourself a step. Pick your color.
So we go ahead and do foundation. Once everybody's happy with that, I'll have them go ahead and pull out their little glamour packs. And I'll say the 3 smaller ones are the eyeshadows. And then there's your lip gloss. I've already got the mascara wand and the eyeshadow applicator in here. And I just tell them, y'all have fun. This is just a dash out the door look. These may not be your perfect colors. I actually have 2 packets, one for neutrals, one for fun colors. So for us blue-eyed girls, we want brown eyeshadow. For y'all brown-eyed girls, you might want, different colors. So I usually have purples in the more fun colors, and then I have browns in the neutrals. And so I just tell them, and everything on here is color-coded. So you can even write on the back of your samples 1, 2, and 3 what shades it are. And then these are all color-coded, and it actually has instructions on the back. Put shade 1 here, put shade 2 here, put shade 3 here. It's color-coded, it's super easy. They just follow instructions. I just tell them it's like paint by number when they were a kid. And then go ahead and put their lip gloss on, lipstick, throw mascara on, you're good to go.
And if you're running late, you can actually make that as a game. So you can just say, before you get started, we're going to have a race. So we're going to earn more tickets, or we're going to earn a prize, or whatever you want to do. So the first person who can get all their makeup on in 3 minutes wins. But you have to look presentable, so we kind of add that in. So sometimes if your party's going too long, which we all know that can happen sometimes, then that's just a way to really cut it short, and they have fun putting it on like that too, so.
Okay, so once they got all of their glamour on, then I go ahead and we do satin hands. Y'all know that. Step 1, step 2, step 3. Awesome. Go to the bathroom, rinse it off. As they're going and washing their hands or rinsing off the sugar scrub, y'all clean up the table. Put all the trash, pack up your mirrors, put everything away. If they have that mirror there, they see their face, they buy the makeup. They don't have that mirror, they touch their face, they buy more skincare. Your sales are going to go up. How long does one eyeshadow last? A long time. How long does your cleansers last? 6 months, which is still a really long time. But you're going to build that reorder base much more than you will just on eyeshadows. And so then, go ahead and clean up everything that is non-essential on the table, give them a little more breathing space. It's not going to be as cluttered or as messy for them. They're going to be able to concentrate more on what you're talking about. And then I go ahead and let's recap first. So y'all know the family analogy for the products? Okay.
Everybody know that?
Kim, I'm going to need an extra set of hands here. So we call our cleanser, and I'll recap because a lot of times they're going to be talking, not rudely, but they're going to be talking over you a little bit. They're going to miss a step. So I very briefly recap on this. Cleanser, 3 in 1. It's got your cleanser, toner, mask. Moisturizer. It's got your 8 different aminos in it, amino acids. So we call our cleanser our daddy because he's tall and has broad shoulders. He's first to get home, first to sit on the couch, and first to watch TV. Our mama is our moisturizer, because how many of y'all in here are moms? Y'all have kids, you usually put those kids before yourself. If not, you've got fur babies or something. And so moms are always putting themselves last. You know, you get the kids fed, and then you eat what's left over. You get the kids ready for bed or school, and then you get ready. So mamas always go last. And then these are our day and night solutions. So our day solution, SPF 35, night solution vitamins. We put our day and the night between our mama and our daddy, because they're our babies, so that we don't lose our babies in Walmart. And then in the morning, this is what it looks like. Cleanser, day, moisturizer. And at night, you just swap them out. Cleanser, night moisturizer. And I usually preface this with, y'all are gonna think I'm crazy, but this is, y'all are gonna remember how to use this. Y'all are gonna remember. Okay, so then we have our microderm that we did on the back of the hand. You remember that really gritty one y'all did? So that's our microdermabrasion. We call them our gritty in-laws. Now, we love our in-laws to pieces. I don't want to offend anybody, but we love our in-laws to pieces, but we don't necessarily want them around every day. So like the in-laws come like twice a week. I know this one. In-laws come twice a week, and they're daddy's parents. So they come right after daddy to babysit the babies. So then these go right here. So this is what order you use them in. And y'all got a table, you can set it down on the table, but so y'all can see it. And then lastly, when mama goes to bed, she closes her eyes and puts on her permanent eye cream. They do your permanent eye cream on. So we just recap real quick. And then we pass out the roll-up bag sheet. So I'm like, oh my gosh. So Mary Kay not only has coupons, we have sales too. So whenever y'all come to any type of a Mary Kay function, we're gonna have some type of sales flyer. So how many of y'all have seen this roll-up bag sheet before? Most everybody. So that is awesome. This is how we sell so stinking much. And so I will just go through and recap all the different products, what they do. And then there are actually 10 sets on this. Y'all can look it up when you get it in your email. There's 10 sets on here. And then I tell them that I've actually have a special set for today. So 1 second. Special set. And so y'all can make it, like if you've got stuff in your inventory that's been there, not that it's old, but it just, you need to sell it. Yeah, you need to move it so that it doesn't get old. Y'all go ahead and just make up a set around $50, put it in the middle of the table. I got this little platter at the dollar store. It's really nice, silver platter, $1. It's in the food section, like with the disposable plates and stuff. Yeah, Dollar Tree, my best friend. And so y'all just go ahead, make up a set number 11, tell them that you can get this as one of your sets. So after you explain what all the different products are, you want them to go ahead and look at the right-hand side. And so this is kind of when I go ahead and open up one roll-up bag, but I don't let them open up theirs because it will turn into chaos. They will start asking you questions. So say, don't open your bags yet. But I'm going to take one as an example. So this is a roll-up bag. Don't y'all love these? Have y'all seen me using mine? Because you've got your demo one. If y'all see me using mine tonight, it is awesome. So it's got the handle on it, so if y'all love to travel, it just travels with you. Okay, thank you. I'll let you do that. And then when you're at home, you just unvelcro it, and that one actually had a brush collection in it. So y'all can even, y'all know you can stuff these in between the little pouches. So it's got the handle on it, so when you're at home, you just hang it up in your bathroom. For me, what's out of sight is out of mind. To this day, if I have Mary Kay in my cabinet, I will not use it. I forget about it. But if it's on the back of the door, I remember to wash my face twice a day. It's the little things that make your life easier like that. And then my favorite part about this is that they totally rip off. They're amazing. And if y'all spill something, just take these little pouches, get your products out, throw it in the washing machine. On delicate, on cold, it'll get it so nice and clean. Throw the shell in there, put it in. I actually put mine in a delicate bag so that hook doesn't catch on anything, doesn't catch in the machine or whatever. Gets it nice and cleaned up so y'all don't have to like worry about dirty bags. So then I say on the top right hand side is what we call our queen of everything. And so this is where you get to pick and choose any 9 of these sets. And don't forget, y'all can choose this as one of your sets. So y'all get to pick and choose any 9 sets. And at this point, I've already had them circle their favorites. You know, as we're going through and explaining all the different sets, I said, you know, if y'all had $1 million, if someone just gave you $1 million, what would y'all want to have in your bathroom? So they've already circled their sets. So I'll say, you know, your queen of everything is where you get to where you get to take home any 9 sets that y'all want. Doesn't matter, it can be the 9 most expensive. I don't care. Y'all just pick your 9. And y'all get to put it in your bag, and we actually give you the shell for free. Y'all want to make sure you say shell, not bag, because then they think you're getting the whole $500 bag for free, and it really confuses them. So y'all just say shell for free. And then it's only $3.99, so y'all are saving over $100 on this. So it's kind of like Sam's Club, where the more you buy, the cheaper it is. And then we have something called our Husband Unawareness Program. I love this. So how many of y'all have gone shopping before and bought way more than you anticipated? Almost everybody there is going to go ahead and raise their hand. And I'll say, so what did y'all do with that stuff? Did y'all just bring it in, or did y'all have to sneak it in? You gotta sneak it in! Okay, so sometimes, like, I just leave everything in the trunk. I actually did this on Thursday. Leave everything in the trunk. I just take, like, one thing in here, one thing in there, and then, your husband doesn't really know what's going on. Or you can wait till he's not home, and you just bring everything in, rip all the tags off, stuff in the back of the closet. On Mary Kay, we have a husband on awareness program. So y'all just go ahead and get everything. We're full-time Mary Kay girls, or you're part-time, but you love your business, and you have decided to work this as a business. You all get to take your products home with you tonight. It's the stuff in the bag.
That's why it's important to have inventory too, girls. They can take it home tonight.
You'll sell 2 to 4 times more than you will without the inventory.
Absolutely will.
But then I'll say, y'all don't have to pay for it all right now. Y'all can just make 5 little payments of $80. It doesn't even have to be the first one tonight. Y'all just make the payments on payday, and you don't have to pay the first one tonight. And that really helps to put them at ease, because they're thinking $399, and don't think $399, just $399. It's less scary. But they're thinking there's no way you can pay that. But when you say, you don't even have to make the first payment tonight, just do it on payday, we'll set up a schedule. You don't even have to worry about it. It'll just come out. Your husband don't know what's going on. And then your Princess of Quite a Lot's where you get to pick and choose any 6 sets, mix and match your favorites, put it in your bag. You get it for $2.99. You're saving about $70 on that bag. And then you just make the 5 payments of $60. And then lastly is your Party Girl, where you get to mix and match any 4 sets. It's only $1.99. You're saving about $60. And that one is only 4 payments of $50. And then lastly is your Busy Women's Miracle set, which you don't get the bag with that, but you still get great products at a great price. And it's basically just sets number 1 and 2 with a free foundation. So what I want y'all to do, and y'all go ahead and practice along with me. What I want y'all to do, this is called our closet close. Okay, how many of y'all have done or heard of the closet close? Okay, so awesome. So maybe 2/3. So this is something, it's how I close every one of my parties. But I tell them to go ahead, okay, y'all close your eyes. Y'all have to close.
Question?
You're talking really fast.
Okay, I'm sorry.
We're running out of time, so
We've run out of time, so I'm trying to not, our other speakers are already here. Okay, so I'm sorry, I'll try and slow down. But what I have them do is I'll go ahead and have them close their eyes, and y'all make sure you close your eyes too. If you're looking around, they're looking around, and it's just awkward, y'all just staring at each other. So y'all go ahead and close your eyes and say, what I want y'all to do is I want y'all to pretend like you're back home. Go into your closet, and then I want y'all to find your most expensive outfit. Maybe it was a wedding dress. Maybe it was something you bought for a fancy night out. Maybe it was a bridesmaid's dress or something you wore to somebody else's wedding, prom dress, whatever. Your most expensive outfit. I want y'all to lay that on your bed. And then I want y'all to grab those shoes, because I know y'all got special shoes for that dress. So lay your shoes on your bed next to your dress. And then any accessories. So maybe you have a clutch or a purse. Maybe you have jewelry, hair accessories, whatever y'all wore with that outfit. Go ahead and lay it all on your bed. And once you get everything on your bed, I want y'all to total up how much you think you spent on that outfit. And then once you have your number in mind, go ahead and open up your eyes and look at me. Okay, then I'll say, how much did y'all spend on that outfit? And it usually ranges between $500, $5,000. Wedding dresses get really expensive, y'all know. And this is something Kristen was talking about us the other day. Y'all kind of have to gauge your crowd. If they're country people, we'll give you a different alternative. If you know they did not spend more than $100 on their most expensive outfit, don't do this. But this is for your city people or your, your girly girls who are going to spend money on clothes. So I say, how many times did y'all wear that outfit? I mean, if they say 3 times, you're shocked, because it's normally once or twice. And say, I totally love clothes, don't get me wrong. And weddings and special occasions are definitely something to get dressed up for, and definitely something that we need to celebrate. But we can always change our clothes. Our face, we only get one of. So you want to make sure you're taking care of your skin, just like you take care of the rest of you, just like you take care of your family. You ought to take care of yourself, take care of your skin, because we only get one face. We can't trade it in later on. We only get one. So last time, y'all close your eyes. And I want y'all to, with your eyes closed, look at your very best friend. No peeking. No peeking. Did y'all see her face or her clothes? Her face, right? Y'all can go ahead and open up your eyes. And that's really the lasting impression we get of people. That is what we connect with, is people's faces. And like I said, I love clothes, don't get me wrong, but we can always change them. Our faces is what we connect with people. And And so then I'll just say, I thank y'all so much for coming tonight. I'd love to go ahead and talk to y'all one-on-one. And then y'all take like the most excited girl into the other room for your individual consultations. Do you want to explain the other option? If you know they're like country people or military where their husbands probably spend a lot more on themselves than the wives spend on themselves. Do you want to explain it?
Yeah, and then you can use, and I do that a lot too, because we as women, we feel guilty when we buy things and men don't. If they need a golf ball, they go buy one. If they need a gun, shells, fishing pole, they don't care, they go get it. We as women, we feel guilty because we think of other places that we should have spent that money. So, let them, I bring that in if it's appropriate. And you really do have to just gauge your crowd to know whether to use your husband or to use him.
And so y'all can just ask them, okay, so what does your husband do for a hobby? What's his hobby? Do you have a husband? I guess that's the first boyfriend. Okay.
Scuba diving.
Scuba diving. Okay, so that's expensive. So he just gets his scuba gear. That is very expensive. My in-laws do a lot of that. So do you have a husband, boyfriend? What does he like to do?
He likes to collect guns and ammo.
That is expensive. Guns, you can't get one for less than $500. Like, unless it's a cheap one. Okay, so we'll go ahead and say, does your guy usually feel guilty about getting that? Not usually. He just kind of gets it and says, look, honey, look what I bought. Well,
Proud of it. We hide ours, they put theirs out in plain view.
So y'all don't have to feel guilty about buying stuff. So if you know that they're not spending money on themselves, they do not have an outfit more than $100, you can really gauge that. You can really feel that. Y'all can use that clothes instead of the closet clothes. But if they're girly girls, or you can tell by their outfits they're wearing, they've got, name brand handbags, nice jewelry, you'll probably go ahead and do the closet clothes. So we got 2 minutes.
Yeah, we'll go through this really fast. So this is the individual close. This is when you're meeting with that person one-on-one, and there's some questions. Y'all might want to write these down if you don't know them. The questions that you need to ask each person. One is ask them if they had fun. Ask them if they had a good time.
It's a good icebreaker.
Yes, it really is, because it's making them a little nervous that you're sitting down with them, so you want to put them at ease. Ask them how their face feels while they're touching, or you're touching yours. It'll make them touch theirs. And then you ask them if they have any questions or concerns about any of the products, if they'd like to know more about anything. And then you ask to see their wish list, because they've already circled on that page what they want. And most people will put they want it all. They really will. So that's, a place to start.
And I'll even say when I'm having them circle, I circle the entire sheet. I did not circle individual sets because it gives them permission to circle more. Again, as women, we feel guilty. We know we don't have the money, so we're not going to circle.
Right.
So they don't have a wish list. So y'all just go ahead and give them permission to circle
The whole thing. So that gives you a place to start. And you say, oh, so great, you want everything. So, we start with the queen, and they're like, no, So you want to keep coming down. So you say, okay, so I know sometimes what our heart wants and what our pocketbook says we can have is 2 different things. So you go down to the next one, where you're the princess. You want to be a princess today? And you're like, no, we get no's, we know that. Go all the way down to the party girls, still nothing, but you are going to assume that they are going to buy something from you. So go all the way down to where they're just eventually saying, I don't want anything. So that's when you're going to offer them, well, why don't you bring those 2 people that you starred back? Let's do a party so you can get some free products. And some people don't want to do that. I'm not the party type. I don't want to bring anybody. So at that point, you can let them be a silent hostess. They can just take up an order for you, and based on, the amount of order that they take up is, free products that they get. So always assume until you just can't anymore. And then if you have somebody that actually is buying, then always say, what else? What else? Would you like to add something else? And always say that, because sometimes they'll go, well, and then you can start talking to them about something else. So always assume the sell. We know we don't want to go home without selling anything. So just assume they are until it's just like you can't do anymore. But you don't want to be pushy. You don't want to make them feel like you're pushing them into doing something that they don't want to do. Because you told them early on that there's no obligation to purchase products. So you say, I'm just trying to help you get what you want. Whatever that is, I'm perfectly happy. So let them do that, because we as Mary Kay consultants, we are not pushy, we are pleasantly persistent. So just keep that in mind when you're working with your customers. And then, that's basically the end. That's where I try to book the career chat, the ones that wanted to put their name down, that they would help me earn my card. So I set up a time in my calendar, because it has to be on the date book to count. If you let those people go out the door before having it on your calendar or on your date book, you probably are not going to ever get that booked again, whether it's a party, a career chat, whatever it is.
It doesn't happen.
No. So get them before they leave. So that's booking the party that they said they would have and bring 2 people, or the career chat. So if you accomplish, like I said before, one of those 3 goals, then you've had a great party.
And if you get all 3, then hey,
It's a
you blew
grand
it apart.
slam. It's a grand slam. So you guys can come up. I know we are so out of time. We're actually over time.
I have
So-
one question with that.
Yes.
We're talking about the tickets. Now, you're coming in, you get, have a gift for the hostess, correct? How many gifts do you bring to the party for the tickets?
1 for every 2.
One for the tickets.
So if you got 6 people, bring 3 prizes. I keep the prizes tucked away. I don't know what you do. I keep them in my starter kit until the very end. And I have a gift bag that looks something like this, sitting on the table. I give them both sets of the tickets. They can tear it up, once we're finished. While we're doing individual consultations, let them tear up the tickets. Then you're going to lose your party if you let them tear it up in the middle. Because if they write down 30 referrals, you're giving them 30 tickets, you're going to lose it. So have them save it till the end to tear them up.
I have a question about the payment plan and stuff. You said that you allow them to leave with the product even without the first product or first payment. Like how are you guaranteed that they're going to end up
Get their
having?
credit card.
But even if you have the credit card, like their debit card or something, how do you know that they're going to have that money in their account on that day?
I set it up on payday and charge it first thing in the morning. That's worked really well for me. So you find out what their payday is, and especially when it's direct deposit, you don't even have to worry about it. The money's going to be there.
Have you ever had an incident where you've gone to go do a payment and then the money's not there?
I mean, everything we do in our business is an investment. So for me, I have had that happen before, but I don't worry about it. It's a tax write-off at that point. And, I'm just thinking, I hope they're okay.
I've had one. I do this all the time. I had one person do it. I knew they were going to do it, but they had a little girl that loved the products, and my heart went out to that little girl, and she was so happy and so excited. And I knew that woman was probably not going to pay me. I knew that, and I went ahead and did it anyway. And I got out to my car and I told my husband, I said, I just let a girl have a whole roll-up bag, and she's not going to pay me. But I did it for that little girl. I did it. So if you have a kind of a feeling about somebody, it's up to you. It's your business, whether you want to do it. But I do it all the time, and I've had that one incident, yes.
You do post-dated checks, because that's one of the things that we were told that.
Told
Instead
to do or not to do?
of to do.
To do?
If they don't have a credit card, well, I can take 5 checks, you write them out now, date them, whatever day you want me to count.
I've done it before.
I have. I've heard different, you should or you shouldn't, but I have done it before, yes.
I haven't had an issue with that. I've never had a check come back.
Yes, go ahead.
Do you actually put all the products in the roll-up bags
That is
at
an
the
awesome
party?
question. So I pack these up the night before if possible. And I'm just, 2 seconds, sorry Bridget, I know we're going over. But I'm gonna explain what I put in here. The roll-up bag, y'all can just write this down, we'll email it out. I put sets 1 through 7. Sets 1 through 7, and then when I pre-profile them, I ask them 3 questions. Is your skin common or oily or normal to dry, so y'all can set up the trays before they get there? If you could change a thing or 2 about your skin, what would it be? Most common is acne and uneven skin tone. So y'all throw in some acne supplements in there, or oily skin supplements like the beauty blotters, uneven skin tone for your even complexion mask and essence, or your dark spot corrector. So I will make up 2 sets customized for them. They will upsell each other because they see stuff in other people's bags that are not in their bag. So you put I put 1 through 7 and customize 2 for them depending on what they want with their skin. So that way I can say, look, I made this bag for you. This is exactly what you need for your skin, for what you want to change about it. It also saves on having to pack stuff at the very end. Because y'all know it takes forever to pack up products. If it's already packed, you ain't got to do much but run to your car and maybe swap out 1 or 2 things. I also never put makeup in there. Unless she says she's perfectly happy with her skin, she doesn't want to change anything, and I kind of don't know what else to put in there, I'll put like a perfume and some makeup. But that way you schedule their glamour appointment, you schedule their one-on-one color consultation, and you can upsell them makeup. It's practically skincare. 99% of the time, all I have in here is skincare. Or
What's the third
fragrance.
question that you said you asked me about?
The third is age range. I don't even think I said that, age range. So I'll just ask, just to make sure I bring the right products for you. Are you 18 to 34, 35 to 55, or 50, 55 and older? So that you know if you should use the miracle set or the repair set or anything like that.
Do you have a tool that
you're trying to sell a roll bag, it doesn't work, you keep going down price range. Do you have something like bottom line, like, well, like a eye color and a lipstick? Do you go that far down? And if they're blonde, you say, well, this is what I recommend for someone like you with blonde hair and this skin tone. Do you have a tool already set up so that you're like prepped and ready to go for something at the lowest price?
I don't, because my Miracle set is kind of that tool, like the last one is the Busy Women's Miracle. Cleanser, day, night, moisturizer, foundation. That one's $99. It doesn't have payments on there, it's up to y'all. I'll break it up into 2 payments if they want. Because it is $99, so $50 for 2 payments, same as the Party Girl, just half as much. If they don't do that, then I usually revert to an individual set you would like. So there's 10 sets on there. They're between $45 and $55. So I'll revert to like, is there an individual set or anything you're running low on? That's normally what I do, but I don't have a pre-made thing.
No, I don't either.
When you put the personalized items in the bag, then do you personalize the price of each person's bag? Like, how do you?
They're all clean of everything. They're all $3.99.
Okay.
I keep the 2 sets that I personalize for them. I'll put about $100 worth of product in there for those 2 personalized sets, so about $50 for each set. I try not to go over 55, 60 max, because y'all don't want to give away products. Like, it is still a business first and foremost. We do still have to make money to be able to continue this. So I do want to have them, feel like they're getting a good deal, but I don't want to put myself out of business at the same time.
Do I have a question? If they decide that they get Party Girl or Princess, they're not getting the full 9 sets, and the roller bag is already made up, do you just snatch those off?
Pull the products they don't want out.
They hate that. They don't want you to pull anything off or take anything away. So by putting more in than they actually probably wanted, when you start having to remove things out of their bag, they don't like that.
Especially if there's one thing in that set they wanted, maybe not everything, they'll say, well, can I just get that? Like, can I get my princess with the eye makeup remover?
Right.
Or something like that. And you can just keep like we have the Go Green totes, just keep a tote stacked away. Anything they don't want, just throw in that tote and you can organize it later.
Organize
Just throw
it later, yes.
Throw it in the bag.
She had a question. Go ahead.
When do you let them see the roll-up bag?
As soon as we've done the closet close.
Okay.
Then you say, go ahead and open up your bags, and I'll go ahead and pull one person. So while everyone's looking at theirs, I'll go ahead and pull one person back in the back. And I usually do have to explain it to the first person because she hasn't gotten much time to see it. But if you let them open it up before, it's just going to turn into chaos.
So it's before consultation,
So in
except for the
between
first
the
person.
close, so we've already gone over the roll-up bag sheet, they know what it is. I'll say, there's one personalized for you. We're going to go ahead and do individual consultations. While we're doing that, y'all can go ahead and tear into your bags. Look at what's there. Any other questions?
Go ahead.
Now, what you are doing the skincare class, do you do, when you are doing your personal, do you do the microdermabrasion after you put the moisturizer or before?
I do it after the moisturizer on the hand.
No, but
So-
when you're doing it on your face.
Oh, on your face. You do it after the cleanser, before the day and the night. So they're the gritty in-laws. They're daddy's parents.
Okay.
So daddy's the cleanser, tall, broad shoulders.
After cleanser, before solutions.
Correct. So cleanser first,
And then
microderm next, which you can only use twice a week, y'all. And then day, night, or night, day or night, moisturizer, from the cream.
second part, then, when you are finishing the class, after they take all that thing, do you still have to do the foundation primer and foundation, or you can just stop it after you finish the eye primer? And you don't want to
In the class,
in the class.
I go ahead and do foundation, primer, foundation. I call it my dash out the door look. It's not a ton of makeup, but it's enough that they're gonna feel comfortable when they do walk out.
Okay.
So foundation, primer, foundation, 3 eyeshadows, lip gloss, mascara.
And do you microdermabrasion with clear proof?
I'm sorry, do you use microderm with clear proof? All of our products are meant to go together, so there shouldn't be a reason.
You can mix and match anything.
Okay,
Yes.
so they would just do it after the gel?
After the cleanser, do cleanser first, and with the microderm, you don't use, that would be a good question. With the microderm, you don't use acne products, so you could do probably the cleanser and the moisturizer, but you'd have to skip the acne treatment gel.
Like even I use toner twice a day, but on the day that I microderm, I don't use toner.
And all this information you can find on In Touch too.
You can. Yes, Ms. Tammy.
You said that you have a mask. Did you say you have a mask when you do your facials?
Not normally, unless we're doing like cucumber spa or hot fudge. The mask comes in the cleanser for a touch-up mask, but I don't normally do a regular mask, just the lip one.
I don't know if you had a specific mask that you recommend to people.
We do have one, if people who have like, uneven skin tone, we have the mask that is just for that, formulated for that, so.
And then the botanicals and the moisture renewal gel mask. So depending on what they want with their skin would depend on which one I would recommend. Just a generic mask, botanicals.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, any last questions? Okay, well, we are going to turn it over to either Bridget or Abby or both. Abby. I don't know that we have speakers during lunch, so y'all can come browse later on, so we'll just kind of leave this here so y'all can kind of look through it. Hello. Hello. Hello.